And so I started this channel when I was doing my post-grad schooling because I just sort of like needed a creative outlet where I could share what I was going through during my program and what I was studying, and just have some interviews along the way. And recently, after I've graduated, like, this will probably be my last video, but I think it's one of my most important ones because I've realized that no matter what I want to believe of the world, it's a really scary world that we live in. And with all the accusations coming out about child trafficking and satanic cults, and not even that they've just been coming out, because back in the 80s and the 90s, Geraldo Rivera and different programs tried to go undercover to get more information about these satanic cults and groups, and everyone just would basically blow it off as, no, it's not real. The California tunnels and the child care programs and the preschools, that's not real. Even though these little kids are telling their parents, they killed bunnies in front of us, or other kids, or just these horrific things. Like, why would any child make that up? But as little kids, you're just so innocent. And the fact that these elitists or whatever, elite people are taking advantage of the most innocent. It's like why Jesus said it would be better to have a millstone wrapped around your neck and thrown into the ocean, like, than to hurt a child. You don't hurt kids. And having my own child, who's now 11 years old, and knowing I've never had to raise my hand to her, there's never been a cause. She's a little kid. If I had raised my hand to her, I know without a doubt our bond would be broken, and she would just be out in the world against all the odds and not even protected in her own home. So anyways, after Ryan Garcia came out with his lives about child trafficking.
Adrenochrome, you wanna touch the adrenochrome? We'll touch that. It's actually a ritual that's been going on for many years from different tribes across the whole world, where they supposedly believe that they drink blood of children.
Stuff about P. Diddy and the poor video with Justin Bieber as a teenager being thrown to the wolves, so to speak.
And all these things that make you understand the way the world works.
Bieber reveals the difficulties of navigating an industry that frequently turns its back on individuals who are struggling with exploitation by sharing his own struggles as a young musician.
16.
You're not ready. Let's slow down, Justin.
Okay.
Let's slow down, okay?
One step at a time.
But yeah, the keys is yours. When when you get 16, you're good to go.
I'm good to go.
Yeah.
Alright.
And then when you get 18, you get the house. You get the mansion.
Okay. I get the mansion. So where are we off to now?
Where would you like to go?
Wherever you want to go. Where are we going?
So check this out, yo. Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream.
Like being left with P. Diddy for 48 hours. What on earth kind of planet do we live in, people, where these things could be okay? And then it led me down this journey because this book I read, a few books recently, Christian books about spiritual warfare, and one of them mentioned about that Anton LaVey's satanic guy, as he died, that he had at least 3 daughters. And so I looked up on Wikipedia, and sure enough, it has listed 3 daughters, but only 2 of their names are listed. And then somehow, lo and behold, Google took me down the rabbit hole, and so I saw the video of his little daughter, 3 years old, and there's the nasty naked woman behind, and he's giving her a satanic baptism, and videoing it for the world. And it's just like, I literally cried for at least 2 days after that one. I would wake up and my heart would be so heavy, and I'm like, how am I supposed to smile today? Like, how am I supposed to go out in the sunshine and smile just knowing these things are happening to these little kids? I can barely get through my days as it is, and being a substitute teacher and like nobody, and having one child. I'm not out to change the world. There's nothing I know that I can do because I'm just not very strong. But I will just end my channel here just saying like goodbye and thank you anyone who watched my videos, and like I'm sorry to be such a downer on this one, but it's like all these videos that I tried to make to help and encourage people and like just get different perspectives, if anything. But why? None of it matters, and I'm not trying to be all emo. It's just like, really, at the end of the day, if these kids are not saved and cannot just grow up in loving, safe environments and households, then why should any of us get to? And I just feel like just lost and just depressed over these stories, like literally within my soul. I don't want to watch movies anymore knowing these celebs, what they probably have to go through to be there. I don't want to watch TV. There's nothing good to do in life anymore. I can go on a walk and I have to like fear mass shooters and serial killers, and it's just the world we live in. Like, it's just crazy. Because I know a different world than 90s. I know a different existence and happiness in life. I mean, it's just effed up. It really is. But to all of the survivors of abuse and Illuminati and satanic rituals and religious cults and all of the rest of it, just evil, plain people that aren't even in a cult, like, my heart literally has broken for you. So please know that as just a studying therapist for kids, like, my heart is literally broken for you guys. Men, women, and children. Because this has been going on since the beginning of the Bible times. I was recently reading the book of Micah, and bro, it's pretty clear, like, about back even then, God was not happy with these people for what they were doing and sacrificing and their children and the blood. And it's just like, to hear these stories, these horrific stories about little kids made to kill other little kids or babies, and or drink their blood and eat their flesh and like be bathed in their blood. It's just such a mockery of God and Jesus and the cross. It's such a blatant lie and mockery. And I'll just sign off here saying, like, yeah, any survivors out there that ever see this, my heart breaks for you. I don't know what normal people and citizens can do for you guys, because we're just, we're just living in two different universes, essentially. So, your strength, your resilience, your will to live is admirable. We regular people have it easy. We just have regular life to deal with. And even regular life can, like, overwhelm us. So, the fact that you all get up every day and or fight for kids and try to have a voice in this topsy-turvy world is amazing. It is admirable. And there's nothing I can even say that does it justice. Flesh. We do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against darkness and principalities in high places, in unseen realms. So, the reason being because it depresses people. Like, as someone on the receiving end of all this information of horrific abuse that I never could possibly imagine or comprehend, I cry for all these celebs who were once children, and it wasn't that they could be famous after, like, probably the 80s, 90s, based on just talent. It was that they had to attend the parties and take the drugs and go up the higher ranks and just get caught up in evil. And it's like my mom used to tell me, it's evil is like the frog in the pot, where it's not just throwing a frog into the pot and it's scalding and it's gonna run away from the pot. It's warming it up little by little to the point where it's all of a sudden the frog looks around and like, oh my gosh, where am I? What's happening?
Nobody ever tells you that, like, when you get to the top, there's nothing there. There's nothing there. There's just more of that. If you want it, you know, I had ground and scraped and fought to make movies and to make the things that I wanted to make and to sell books and sell scripts. And I was doing all those things. And then I get there and I'm like a broken shell of myself with this relationship that threatened to sort of like truly like wreck my life. And I had done nothing to deserve that. And, you know, I'm like, what is life? Like, what, you know, I'm so backwards